Tam.
Hi.
We are back.
We are back. We are here for our 2 p.m. show as we, of course, are still celebrating Juneteenth all Friday long. And we're also celebrating the fact that it's Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. And payday, by the way.
And paid. Oof. Triple threat.
There you go.
And I will say, I was just watching some live video of the Juneteenth celebration going on in Daily Plaza right now. It looks like so much fun.
It's
yeah, because they're playing your favorite song, though, right?
Which one was it, Amy?
Percolator.
There you go.
Percolator. I love it.
I will give them credit. It is really hot out there. And for those folks out there dancing, they are got to be sweating their butts off. Take a live look outside right now. 88 degrees right now at O'Hare. That's the actual temperature, but it feels quite a bit warmer than that. You can see it's kind of hazy across Chicagoland. It is an air pollution action day today until midnight. Hopefully that will clear out by tomorrow. But we're going to have another warm day tomorrow, too. And you'll notice as the days progress closer to the weekend and into the weekend, it's been getting more humid out there. And that's going to be the case also as we continue through the next 7 days. So high today of 92, tomorrow also 92. It's going to be hot and humid out there. Mostly cloudy throughout the day. We do have some increased chances of scattered afternoon thunderstorms and showers, more likely the later into the day we go. Sunday for Father's Day, 85 degrees. Okay, possible thunderstorms and isolated showers. The likelihood of that is going to be in the morning. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon and then just a shower or two here or there, but it shouldn't be a washout. You should get some time outside with Dad if you plan on doing something. On Monday, 88 degrees, warm, scattered showers again, thunderstorms. Tuesday, a little bit cooler, 80 degrees. The humidity levels are going to drop a little bit. Should be a really nice day on Tuesday. Wednesday, 78. Again, just a few clouds out there, but you'll notice that we're in that pattern where chances of showers and thunderstorms are going to pop out every day, but whether or not you see them, it might not happen. So Thursday, 82, nice day. And then again, chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon on Tuesday as well.
Okay, thank you so much for the weather update as we ease onto this weekend full of warm weather. We appreciate it. Before we get to our first guest, we just have a couple news updates that we need you to know. The city of Louisville, Kentucky is seeking to fire a police officer who's responsible for shooting and killing Breonna Taylor. Now, the Louisville mayor made that announcement to fire Officer Brett Hankinson during a news conference today. Hankinson is accused of blindly firing 10 shots into Taylor's apartment as she slept March 13th. An attorney for the family says today's announcement shows the mayor can take action and hopes he will do the same with the other officers involved. Those other officers have been placed on administrative leave so far. You guys, we've been following this story for a few months now as social media just ramps up their coverage of Breonna Taylor and people saying her name. We're seeing some action and some movement down in Louisville.
You know, I keep wondering when you hear more about this stuff happening, if George Floyd had not happened, would this have happened in this case?
Girl.
There's a push right now, obviously, right? That some of these leaders are in such intense pressure, as they should be, to make moves in these cases, that it's such a horrible thing that happened. But at the end of the day, if good things come out of it, you know, that could be the only hope for the situation, right?
She was literally in her home. She was in her home, murdered by police. Yes. And action has not been taken to right that wrong.
Right. And I think the interesting and maybe one of the most important things too is to keep that momentum going, right? A lot of people are saying, don't stop saying her name, don't stop sharing stories of her and others who've had, you know, situations in the like as well. So keeping the momentum going, keeping the conversations going, because again, Amy, like you mentioned, George Floyd might have been what had started all of this, but definitely not the end of what's going on here. Another story that we'd like you guys to keep in mind too, indoor dining in Chicago, just a week away, but we do have some limits. Restaurants, bars, breweries will be able to serve families, friends, starting Friday, June 26th. So that's indoors. But remember, only 25% of capacity. So that's like a max of 50 people per floor. Only 2 hours per party, and they're pretty strict on that. I will say they'll come up to you, they'll be like, hey, you got an hour down, you got an hour left to go. You know, and the move comes the same day as the state enters Pritzker's phase 4 of reopening. So it's a conversation that we've been having throughout these weeks. When is this going to happen? And it's finally here, but of course with precautions since we are still living through this global pandemic.
You know, and that 2 hour thing, my husband and I were talking about yesterday. Not only it's good, not only just to get people moving and not sitting too long in one place, but think about the table turnover that these businesses need. They don't need somebody lingering there for 4 hours, not spending any money. They need people coming in the door to keep these places open.
Yeah.
I couldn't say it better myself. Move, people, eat your food and get on. But it's tough because, you know, we all want to lounge right now. You know,
right. And we miss
spend
that
time outside.
atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like when the waiter came over, there's a really cool restaurant by my house called Danny's. They have a beautiful patio. And I mean, you're just engaged in conversation after not seeing people, you know, other than your family for so long. And she's like, I'm sorry, it's an hour and a half and you have 30 minutes left. And I was like, the pizza takes 45 minutes. What are you talking about? You know?
Pre-order your pizza. Pre-order.
Hey, as a former waitress, and I know Amy has worked in food service too, you should also keep that in mind when we do get back to where we are, because whenever you're sitting at a table, it's costing us money. So at least leave a little extra tip if you stay long like that.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let us prepare to welcome in our next guest. We have to welcome Melissa Dupree to the Jam TV show. Melissa Dupree, she's a Chicago actor and comic, and she created 50 Blind Dates, which is a social media reality show that I am sure has a lot of adventure and a lot of laughs to it. She's here to share a little bit more about it. Hey, Melissa.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me. How is everybody? Happy Juneteenth.
Doing good. You are just so bright and bubbly over there.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Friday. You know, it's Friday. We're in these times. Things are slowly starting to reopening. People are just starting to get semblance of life. I took a shower. I'm getting a manicure. I'm back in it.
Yes. When is the manicure happening?
Listen, the manicure is still by appointment. I'm lucky enough to have like the same manicurist I've been going to for years, the same esthetician I've been going to for years. So she's like, come in at 9 p.m. I got you. Salon's closed.
Yeah, I'm excited. I just want to live in your joy. Did I cut you off, Deanna?
No, I'm saying, you know, she's like, I showered. I'm like, yeah, me too. Big things are happening here. Okay.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. Get back into it slowly. All right. So tell us about 50 Blind Dates. The first episode drops on Monday, right?
Yes, the first episode drops on Monday. We pushed everything back 2 weeks just to be present in the moment. All of the show is comprised of creatives and movement makers here in Chicago. We have the best team of artists together, and it's really just about having a connection during quarantine. So a lot of people were really suffering from isolation, depression, and I, as a activist and artist and healer, was thinking a lot about our own emotional space, especially for a single people who wasn't waking up to a person every day and having that companionship. And I was really wondering how we were going to stay connected. And I told my girlfriends on a long chat, you know, I know a lot of us have those thread of girlfriends. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I can't read text. I'm not doing this Tinder thing. I'm not starting these same conversations where I don't get tone. I don't feel connected to people. I'm going to commit to doing 50 random dates with complete strangers all the way until the end of quarantine, so I can find the one person I want to go on a post-quarantine date with when all of this is over.
Wait, so
can
this
I just
say doing these dates? You did all the dates yourself. I was thinking it was a bunch of different people, but it was just you dating.
Nah, I'm doing 50 dates. Now I'm at 30. I still have 20 individuals to go. It's open to all races, all genders, and it's about finding connection. It's about actually sitting with someone engaged. Now, if we were out in a bar and if quarantine never happened, how often would you actually be able to meet someone and have a deep dive for 45 solid minutes and it's not be about like the band that you're seeing or the weather or getting a parking ticket? Nothing really superficial. It's actually, you know, you have an hour one-on-one with somebody and I don't know who they are. They might know me. They might be able to Google search, or they might be able to, like, you know how we used to hook up people on blind dates and we would still like what they look like. What do they look like? You have a picture, you could still find them. Like, I don't think we ever really have blind dates anymore. So it's only blind for me. I open up my laptop at 6 o'clock every afternoon and I don't know who's on the other end.
Wow. Melissa, you are 20 deep. I'm curious. Do you remember
30?
Like, you're 30 deep. Do you remember 1, 2, and 3? Or are they like way, or you have notes?
Do you have notes?
Yes. So I'm so glad you asked. I am very, very immersed in 1, 2, and 3 because those are the first episodes that we are going to be releasing. So I've been sitting with rewatching that first episode, and I've been watching the entire hour, and we condense it into 10-minute episodes. So you only get a snippet, and then you get my side commentary like a reality dating show. So I do remember them, but I remember my first date and being so nervous, like it was an actual date, because I didn't know if they were going to show up. Girl, I can't tell you how many times I've been stood up in my whole entire life. All of my first dates were me being stood up, just being a sad little mope on a couch. And I got that trauma. It was re-triggered. And after the first 5, I was so eager and excited, enthusiastic. I was always leaving them energized and feeling much better after the date than I did waking up that day feeling lonely and isolated. I remember all of them. And now that I have to go back and edit them and work with an editor and condense them down, I'm rewatching every day, every single time.
Yes.
I can't wait.
How many stars do you have by these people's names? Like out of the 30 that you've done so far, how many are potential follow-ups?
So I don't like to leave that just up to me. I don't trust myself because I'm a Pisces Aries cusp, and my Pisces self can just float off into the wind and be in love with every single person. I'm already thinking about our children, what color our walls are in the house. I don't trust myself. So I invited the same team that put these dates together, my vetting team, my tribe. And on Saturdays, we have a recap session where we rewatch the dates in the small little snippets. We talk about them. We talk about the do's and don'ts in dating, the things that kind of, sit in the back of women's minds on dates. And we talk about like breaking heteronormative standards. And they push me to like, Melissa, I want you to really consider this person. They might be good for you, I think you should not go with your instinct on this person because we could see red flags a mile away that you can't. So they kind of gather their top 3, and then I'll ask those 3 people that week, do you want to have a second date with me? And whoever says yes, after every 10 dates, there's one person that is the top candidate. And after every week, I should have 5, right? So I have 5 candidates from those 10 episodes, and then I'll narrow them down to 3 people I'll keep talking to until I get down to the one person I choose to have a post-quarantine date at a restaurant, and that gets revealed at the actual restaurant.
Wow. I love it. It seems so intentional, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like a get your husband in 20-day plan. Like, I love it.
But here's the thing about it. So it's open to all races, all genders. And so the idea behind it is, who can you connect with and who would you really want to spend that date with? If we were taking the preciousness of when this is all over, the first thing I'm going to do is this, or I'm going to go back to this favorite bar, or I'm going to go see this concert when this is open. We were really holding in high priority the things that we were taking for granted. And so it's about who you want to be in that space with. So some of the people that turned up on my Zoom are some of my friends, like my girlfriends. They're like, I want to have a date with you. Or, I wouldn't put it beyond myself to think about, a single Black mother in this time. And we have a conversation, we connect really well. And I might want to have her as the person to be on that date with, really thinking about crushing this concept of what dating is, because I want dating to be fluid, but the connection to be concrete. I want that to be the thing that we're looking for. Now, I'm not looking for love. I'm looking for a date. I have the love. I got the love. I'm trying to share it.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily looking to find the man that's going to be with you or the woman who's going to be with you for the rest of your life. You are looking for someone that you want to spend your first precious moments out somewhere having a good conversation with.
Yeah, this is really to get back to connected to our humanity, thinking about what conversations are like, thinking about our isolation and finding our communities and finding our tribes. Like, these are all dates to find those people that you're going to have long lasting connections with, not just love, and if love pops out. And surprise to me who that might be, because I'm open to all of it. But it's really about, quarantine took away from us the ability to really attach. Yeah. And it sprung us, because we never thought in a million years I wouldn't be able to see my friends or, the person I was dating, or like, this is a risk and this is a sacrifice that we all have to do to be healthy and keep everybody healthy. So I was really thinking about that part. Get back to our humanity, get back to the art of conversation. Because I don't know about you, but I lose tone in a text. I'm like, I threw my phone once because I was like, I don't know what you mean.
Right. Totally get
Yeah,
that.
no, Melissa,
Right.
off of that point that you were talking about, the idea to be able to continue forward in the industry. I mean, you made a post about, or specifically for dream chasers, I believe you called them, where, you know, you want people to continue pushing forward through these tough times.
Especially content creators. You know, I also just read an article that came out in a publication that said 71% of the population deemed artists as non-essential workers. And I'm like, okay, what are you watching at home? What are you reading? What are you listening to? All of us are artists. And what happened to our industry as well is, you know, I was on Empire the last season. We couldn't finish filming our final episode, and people had been waiting all the way up into that point. And it shut our industry down. We couldn't finish telling our stories. And as an artist myself in this time, that was really pressing on me. What am I doing? Am I not doing enough? How am I going to survive? And it came out of a need and a desire to continue to have control over my own narrative and create my own content and showcase myself as a queer, Black, Latina woman, single and breaking heteronormative standards. Like, what does my story entail? And it's really through the lens of how I love other people. So I wanted to make sure that artists knew that they have the power to create their own work always. This is done in my living room. This is where I hold my dates.
Oh,
I love it, Melissa. Thank you.
I can't wait.
Information up on the screen here so people don't miss the first one, as she mentioned, coming up on Monday. You can follow her on Instagram, 50_blind_dates, Facebook, same thing, and on that YouTube channel as well. Melissa, thank you.
Thank you all for having me. You all are so beautiful and gorgeous. I've been watching this and keeping up, and it's just such a light that you give, shining on us in the community. So thank you all for having me.
Thank you, and good luck.
And I need 20 more dates, so pop on. Come on.
yes.
Gorgeous.
I love it because I would totally do this for a friend. Like,
yes,
for a friend.
Yes, friend dates. Come on, there's
Absolutely.
no end. There's no limit to the connection and the creativity. This can go on forever.
Thanks, girl.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Yes.
That's such a great idea. We should do this with like mom friends too. I want to start doing it with mom friends.
It's so hard to make friends as an adult. You know, we're married and everything, but I would not mind getting some new girls, some not new ones, but like expanding my girlfriend tribe.
Well, see, I'm not married, but it's still hard. Like, just like with everyday stuff that goes on now with this quarantine, you can't even, you know, go talk to your neighbor or whatever, but it's tough. And you don't necessarily think about it until you're like, I don't know, like, who the top 5 people in my phone are, like, best friends or friends of mine, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Don't worry. It gets easier when you get kids. Just force together.
All righty, ladies. Are you ready for the next guest?
Yes.
Moving.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in Skylar Higley. He actually comes with a unique perspective as an African-American male raised Mormon by Caucasian parents in Salt Lake City. Hey, can you hear us?
Oh, there you go.
Here he is.
Hey, Skylar, how are you? Ooh. Can you hear us okay? Oh, we seem to be having some technical difficulties.
Must have real equipment over there.
I know, right? That sounded like an actual stereo, an actual speaker.
Yeah, I haven't heard that sound.
I have night lights set up as my lights, actually. Now, as we wait for Skylar to kind of pop on, just a little bit more on his background, his experience and his what he kind of makes, you know, his work, puts in together his childhood, his upbringing, Chicago, to bring the comedy scene and write and create content that perhaps other people may find interesting because of the mesh of things that you have, which I think is super interesting when you have a bunch of different cultures all together.
He's also a writer for The Onion, which if you don't read, you should, because it is hilarious. And now going to be a new writer on Conan's show on TBS.
Conan. Gosh, so much to talk about. Skylar, fix your audio. We want to talk to you.
Oh, no.
I know. Come on,
I hate when this
Skylar.
happens. Like, this stinks.
Let's see. Is he hitting us up in the chat?
I think the producers are working on it, so we will move on to something else. Okay, Well, as we're waiting for Skylar to get himself all fixed up, is there any weird habit of yours you didn't know was weird until you actually told somebody? Or somebody caught you doing
It's
it?
weird, but there's a word that I use, and a lot of Chicagoans use it. I say finna, like I'm finna go to the store, I'm finna do this, I'm finna go to that, I'm finna, yada, yada, yada. And not till I was, in another state, and I said that, and they were like, wait, what'd you just say? I said,
No,
I'm going to go to the store. I'm about to go to the store. And we say it so fast. And so obviously it's coming from the word fixing to. It's Southern.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to go to the store. And it has just transcended time and all that stuff. And now we say finna. And I didn't even realize that it wasn't a real word and that other people didn't use it.
Felicia, I never heard that until I went to college.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like,
well, with the whole, the history, Great Migration and stuff. So many Black Chicagoans are from the South. They're from Mississippi and Alabama and other places. So you kind of have this Southern influence in Black culture in Chicago, which is so cool. But it was just how I talk. It's just conversational language. And I said it and they called me out on it. And I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah. No, I think Chicago lingo is just so interesting. I mean, there's finna, there's when people say, I mean, we've talked about this on the show before as well. There's like, oh, bet, or let me see, I can't even think of any other ones, but we have,
So,
like if Felicia was like, oh, Dee, let's get ready to go to the store. And I'm like, all right, bet. Like,
yes.
I've never heard that either.
That's newer. It
Okay.
hasn't been around. But I remember when we were in high school, we used the word Joe interchangeably, like how New York is like, what's good, son? What's up, son? When Chicago would be like, what's good, Joe? What's up, Joe? I don't know who Joe is, but Joe is somebody.
in high school, we used to say G, like, what's up, G?
Oh, yeah, G.
Oh, yeah. We said that too.
Here's one too. I don't know. Amy, you have to fill us in on the slang that you use out in Schaumburg.
I'm not in Schaumburg anymore. But like I
was born and raised in Schaumburg, everybody.
Right. Like what? But like I still like it's funny, like, soda and pop. Anywhere you go outside Chicago, nobody says pop. I say soda because I worked in a lot of towns outside the city, and people thought it was weird when I'd say soda or say pop. But like everyone thought that was like the strangest thing they'd ever heard. Like,
oh, you mean in the other states that you lived in? Okay.
Yeah, they're like,
I
pop.
thought you
What are you
meant in
talking
the
about, pop?
suburbs.
No. So like they always thought that was weird. And then front room, nobody's got a front room.
It's a
All
Midwest
right, guys,
thing.
it seems like we have Skylar back on. Skylar, can you hear us? Can we hear you?
I can. Were you trying to talk to me and I wasn't reacting at all?
It sounded like you had a whole
joke
system
on us
in your room.
No, not at all.
Well, welcome.
How are
Good to
you?
talk to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about this interesting upbringing you have, raised by white Mormons in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, perfect thing to talk about on Juneteenth, by the way,
Right.
Freedom Day. So here I am in Chicago. Yeah, it was weird. Especially, let me say, first of all, they tried their best. And it was good in some ways, but in other ways, like we celebrated Kwanzaa and we were all wearing like dashikis, like all of us. So it was kind of weird. And then, Mormonism is a very let's say specific type of religion with some very specific beliefs. So it was just kind of like cut off from the outside world a little bit, not in the same way as like someone who is Amish, but just a little like, you get out to Chicago and suddenly alcohol's everywhere and you're like, what? I didn't even know that they could sell these at stores,
Yeah. And Skylar, I think that's part of who you are, right? And it reflects in your work. I mean, you've integrated and you've put together everything that you grew up with, your childhood, your upbringing, into what you do now, into kind of what you write.
Oh yeah, it's the majority of any of my stand-up material. So, it was totally worth it for that reason.
Well, it seems like you turned out to be a pretty good guy too. So they must have done something right.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did some real good. I mean, I got to learn about all this stuff with regards to like civil rights and stuff because my mom was like, we gotta teach you because nobody's gonna teach you in schools. They're gonna say Martin Luther King for like one day a year and then it'll be kind of whatever. But my mom all the time was teach me about that stuff. I actually got to meet Martin Luther King's son. It was really cool.
Oh, wow. What do you think of everything? Since you have a particular lens that you're viewing the world from, just with your background, how are you viewing everything that's going on right now? And what does your family say about it?
I mean, my family is funny. My family just listens to me now when it comes to all this stuff. You know, anything I have to say, they totally just shut up and listen. So that's really nice. Yeah, it's really crazy to see a bunch of people learning stuff that I've already known since I was a child. You know, which I appreciate. A lot of people are being educated, but it speaks a lot to the system that we're in. That everyone's like, what's Juneteenth and stuff like that. And but it's cool. I'm glad we're all here. Now we can all have cookouts together and hopefully, you know, find some equilibrium in this society.
Hey, I
Cookouts
got
and equilibrium. That's what
right.
Juneteenth is about.
Hmm.
I got to ask about this Aunt Jemima article you wrote for The Onion. So Quaker Oats is pulling Aunt Jemima from its store shelves, not using the name anymore, taking away the image. And 8 hours before they announced that, you wrote this article satirizing that.
Yeah, I actually want to correct that because it was tweeted out 8 hours before, but we
Oh, okay.
actually posted that 5 days before it happened.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, so we were really ahead of the curve, and no one will ever be able to convince me that The Onion itself did not kill Aunt Jemima.
So tell us about the character you created. That we
Yeah.
are meeting Sheila, right?
Yeah, Sheila, she's a black female lawyer, and she enjoys pancakes sometimes. Not
By the
all-
way, that's my favorite part. The sometimes.
Oh, sometimes is great
Sometimes.
because it's realistic. You know, you don't want to have pancakes every day. You don't want to be all about syrup. So if we want to create a character that's more realistic to an experience that a black woman might have in America, we're not going to make any sort of stereotype. So we're just going to let Sheila be who she is, and that was, you know, the intention behind that joke. Is just, you know, we're trying to take strides, but sometimes we're kind of like overplaying into like making things real, and you know, and I think Quaker Oats saw that, and they really thought maybe we should do Sheila.
Maybe we should. Well, and they also saw everything else that's going on in the world. They're like, oh gosh, the spotlight's about to come our direction. We better
Mhm.
make a move quickly.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I really do think that they knew, and I do kind of think that they were waiting, and then we're like, oh no, they noticed.
First message, we're out there. We're
Yeah.
getting out.
What do you think about companies making these changes? Are they welcome changes, or are you critical that it hasn't happened before?
Well, as far as things not happening before, I mean, when with regards to race and stuff in America and sort of the things of oppression that have happened, like there's a lot of stuff that never should have happened. So I don't know if we can really be productive by saying this should have happened before. And I also think that I've been seeing a lot of people on Facebook, you know, calling out Aunt Jemima, like, we didn't ask for this Aunt Jemima thing to go away, and this isn't really helping. Okay, fine, it's not really helping, but it's not, you know, it's not the same group of people in charge of, let's say, like reforming the police system that's in charge of the branding of Aunt Jemima. So if everybody's trying to do their part, I'm not really going to try to take that away from anybody. But yeah, I'm not going to act like, oh great, we got rid of the syrup, and now I guess we're good. So
Yeah. Yeah, I like that approach though. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we all have our different roles and our different paths in this world. And it's like together, if we're all playing right in that role, we can have progress.
right, exactly. Like, what are the syrup people supposed to do? Are they supposed to reform the police themselves? No, but they can be less racist syrup. You do what you can.
You do what you can. Absolutely. Skylar, I don't want to let you go without talking about the Conan show. So tell us how it went down. You are going to be the newest writer on staff starting in July, which is technically like tomorrow. So tell us.
Yeah, it was just well, I got to The Onion through writing for ClickHole. I've been contributing to ClickHole for a while, and yeah, I sent in a packet and with a bunch of ideas, and I know somebody that used to work at ClickHole that's over at Conan now, and he, you know, liked the ideas, passed them along to the writers. They liked the ideas, and it's pretty much that. You write the jokes that you think are funny, that other people are gonna think are funny, and they read them, and then after it's been a year since that happened, and then kind of just out of nowhere, just, hey, you want to come write for the Conan show? I mean, it's it feels kind of random, but also I was like talking to them and looking into that for a really long time. So
Do you have to move or can you stay here?
I think it's gonna be just like this little interview right here. I'll be in my tiny 2-bedroom apartment. I'll have my my upstairs neighbor playing piano upstairs, and I'll just be writing jokes instead of just talking about stuff, you know?
That's cool.
That's so cool. Skylar, we can't go past this without you talking about that transition transition to Chicago. You were like, what? They sell alcohol. I mean, was that like traumatizing in a sense, or were you like, yeah?
I was like, well, when I got here, I was still afraid of it because that's the devil's juice. So I wasn't prepared for seeing it at like any given store, because in Utah where I grew up, you could really only buy it at the state liquor store, and you could only have like a certain amount, and the beer all has less alcohol content in it. So it was definitely like a transition, and I was just walking around being like, there are so many more people who look like me out here. They're all
Here we
different kinds of people. I know. And it was great. I'm like, this is incredible. I didn't even know that, I didn't have to be the token black guy in every situation. This is fun. So yeah, it was a bit of a culture shock at first, but I would really only say probably like the first couple of weeks. And then I feel like I adjusted like very quickly, because I felt like, oh, this is like where I'm supposed to be, and there's like so many more types of things here.
Yeah.
There you go. You got to get with it.
Yeah. Well, we have to say thanks for using your voice. It's such a unique perspective that you have to offer, and we always like to see someone from our city progress and have success, especially on a national stage like that. So congratulations to all the good things coming to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Best of luck to you, man. That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
You guys, here's his info right here. Skylar Higley. Make sure you're checking him out on Instagram as well as Facebook, Skylar the Higley and Skylar Higley.
Wonderful. Let's move on to our next guest, guys. He is an actor, a director, a producer, most recently starring in ABC's The Baker and the Beauty. One of my favorite movies as well. He's in Pitch Perfect. David Del Rio is joining us today. And it's a good day for him to join us because they have been working on getting his show back on TV because it was not renewed for another season. And it looks like you guys are getting pretty far in the petition drive. David, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Really glad to be here.
It's wonderful. I checked out your page. What did you had upwards of 110,000 signatures on the petition?
Yeah, right now I think we're actually about 115, 116 at this point, if I'm not mistaken. But the support is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Couldn't be any more grateful for the loyal fans out there.
You got some big name voices that are helping lean in on this too. I think I see Zoe Saldana and also
That's right.
Longoria helping push it.
Longoria, yeah.
Yeah, and Eugenio Derbez as well. I mean, and Rosalind Sanchez. A lot of people are out talking about this, and the idea is that there is a diverse show out there that sort of allows people to kind of discover culture. And, it's, am I still on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. There's a lot happening in front of me. I'm getting a little distracted. But anyway, it was just it's a show basically about family and culture. And I think that there's a lot of people who really responded to that, along with the cloak of the genre of romantic comedy. And I just think that people are just responding to a really good show, as opposed, in addition to the Latin representation that it gives.
No.
David, for the role of, sorry, Felicia, for the role of Mateo, what was it that you needed to bring to the table that was unique or that was different, that you were like, this is why I can portray this character in the best light? Well,
I'm a Cuban Colombian from Miami, Florida as well. And so Mateo is Cuban, and the show set in Miami. But, the cast sort of came together from all different walks of life and different nationalities: Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, Colombian, Ecuadorian, Peruvian. And we basically if we were going to successfully portray a family, we were bringing our stories to the table of what it was like when we were growing up around the family function. And in my particular case, the family function of being Cuban and Colombian. So I remember Lisa Vidal, who plays Madi, my mom in the show, she was like, "Am I slapping you too hard?" And I'm like, "Please do not slap me any less, because that is exactly how my mom raised me when she put me in place." And I said, "Please do not stop those disciplinary choices, because it feels like home. It feels like home." So we always want to tell a story. We always wanted to tell a story that, when someone acts up, no matter what age you are, my character is 27 years old, and just one flick of the ear, you just go back to turning 15. So that was one of many sort of mini stories that we wanted to bring to the table.
Yeah.
Now, I can't imagine a Latino cast, right? And everything that happens behind the scenes, all the ad libs, all the Spanish that goes on. I mean, it's like, it's almost like home in a sense.
Well, that's the way we really wanted to treat it. It really is our job to portray that I have known these people for 27 years.
Yeah.
So our job really was to create an environment that is brought up from our chemistry. And the other thing is that you don't have to watch The Baker and the Beauty to and watch a Latinx family and say, well, there's no way I can relate because of their culture. No, there's many ways you can relate, because these are family issues. So it doesn't matter what heritage or what race or anything. We're talking about family values, and we're talking about a certain family going through a certain obstacle of our brother meeting a fashion icon, billionaire. That what would happen if someone like Kim Kardashian will walk into our room? And that was the story. That was basically the story that we wanted to tell. But there is so much family values ingrained in that the thing that I relate to as a Colombian Cuban is family's everything, and family's number one. And I don't think there's any family that doesn't feel that.
Yeah. So when we're talking about transitioning and playing all these different acting roles, I mean, to wrap up that conversation, I think just that representation is so important and so needed and valued with people outside of the Latin community as well, too.
Sure. And it's funny, too, because, for me, it felt really good to read the script when I got cast in the part. Don't get me wrong. And every sort of script that came across throughout shooting the season was really getting myself to represent the culture a lot more. But as a Latin man myself, I was just basically just doing my job to live in the skin of this character. And I didn't find it anything special because, I grew up in Miami, Florida. I grew up, my dad is one of 5 boys, and my mom has 2 other siblings, and I have a lot of cousins. And I grew up in the type of environment that if we get a B+ in a geometry test, there's a party that weekend. We had any reason to spend time with family and party. So, that was that, and to celebrate, basically, and celebrate life and celebrate our relationship and celebrate our kinship and our tribe, if you will. Right. So that was one of those things that when I was doing the show, I wasn't thinking about, Latin representation, Latin culture, this. No, I was just telling a story, and I wanted to share with people. But the response has been absolutely amazing. And I think people really want to see more of that lifestyle on screen, whether they relate to it or not.
Yeah.
We hope that we hope the show gets picked up again. So you've done the show, you've done Grease, you did Pitch Perfect. You've done a lot of kind of different things. Is there any other one thing that you want to do you haven't done yet?
I don't know. I mean, I've always thought of my career as sort of like a manila folder under my door, and I open the manila folder and it says, your next mission, if you so choose to accept it. and so my job is to serve the story. My job is to serve the production, and I try to do my best to do basically my part. I wouldn't consider myself a musical theater actor or have that much musical talent, but I do remember that when I got cast in The Heights, a Broadway show that I did, and Lin-Manuel Miranda's show, or Grease Live, or Pitch Perfect. I would just go and train and say, listen, I'm not trying to be a good singer. I just need to know how to sing this well. Just teach me the ways to kind of form my voice to make it work for the story. But I've done directing, I've written, I've produced, and I just love telling stories. That's what I want to do in my job in my life.
I feel like you've been busy since you were like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Also, not fair. Not fair. I feel like you're at an advantage. You're Colombian, you're Cuban. So music is just in you. I mean, rhythm,
that's
music,
true.
That's just in you.
That's true. You're right. You're absolutely right. There is rhythm ingrained in me. There's no denying that. That's for sure. But it's funny you say that because, I remember shooting a mob movie when I was 12, and I didn't know what a short film was. So I told my cousin it's either an hour or it's not a real movie. And so we shot the whole movie with the VHS video cameras that you put the whole VHS in. And what we did was called camera editing. So when we messed up a take, there's no editing. That we didn't have iMovie or Final Cut or anything like that. We would rewind the tape and then make sure it kind of stops in the particular time, and then we just do the take again. And so, will anybody see that movie? Maybe, but there's a little clip of it on my Instagram, because Daniel, played by Victor Rasuk in Baker and the Beauty, and I think it's the writers and the producers getting to know us as we were shooting the show. Daniel would say, my brother used to direct movies and make me be in them and make me act in them and all that stuff. And Noah was like, I have to see these. And Daniel would say, you will never see these. And then in that same Instagram post, I kind of posted little clips of the movie that I did when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
I just always wanted to, this is just what I've always wanted to do, and I'm very grateful for all the opportunities, and I'm very grateful for everybody. I'm part of a project that people are very, very, very vocal in their response to giving us another shot with another network.
Yeah.
Hey, David, these comments are going out of hand. Everyone's like,
comments.
Give us a note. Is he going to sing? When is he going to sing? These people are going nuts.
Yeah. And I just want to note that he has a wedding ring on, ladies. He's wearing it right now. It's in your face.
Yeah. Married happily for 2 years. And basically we met at a party, but we found out, or I was told, and it was, and we have proof of a picture, but we actually had met 4 years prior. And we actually took a picture outside the stage door when I was in the Heights, and she was a student in NYU, and we have a picture together. And then we met 4 years later at a party.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How
Tina just asked if you can bake.
Can I bake? No, but man, I am a master in the toaster. I am a master in the microwave, and cereal are my strengths.
you guys decide to have kids, you are going to be doing great. That's
yeah, for sure. For sure. But my wife is a chef. She has cooked for events in Coachella and Stagecoach, and she's been a chef for film sets, and she's been a chef for the Jonas Brothers. So she's a really, really talented chef and actress as well.
Whoa, you hit the jackpot.
No, you never find a single chef. Chefs are all
right?
Nobody lets them stay single.
I know, right? Right? Yeah. That'll never happen over here. So, yeah.
Well, David, you are a pleasure. We wish you the best of luck. We're going to
thank you so much.
We're going to keep pushing for that petition and hope that the series gets picked up again for another season. It's on his Instagram page, so we want to make sure everybody has all your information so they can follow you, find out what's going on, contribute as well. You see all this information on the screen. Also, the hashtag Save the Baker and the Beauty is trending, so make sure you get on that change.org petition and help him out.
Oh man, thank you so much. This is so much fun. Thanks.
So
Thank
fun.
you so
You're
much.
Thanks,
lovely.
David.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Bye.
Besides the fact that I loved him in Pitch Perfect, and he had a smaller role, but he was the cutest guy with a hat on. I was always like, I love that guy.
I know.
Yeah, no,
I wish
I
he would have
spent-
sung for us. We tried to ease it in there. He didn't
I
bite.
know. I hate springing it
I
on people when they don't
tried.
want to do it.
I tried.
Yeah.
I spent the last hour and a half watching Pitch Perfect and Pitch Perfect 2 clips on YouTube. So that's what I do with my life now.
That's how you got ready. Oh, okay. All right, let's do a quick look at your weather really quick outside. Current conditions a little hazy across the Chicagoland area. That is due to that ozone action day in effect until midnight tonight. Our current temperature is right now 90 degrees, feels more like 95-ish out there. So really got to be careful if you're outside. High today is supposed to be 92, likely going to get there in the next hour or so. And we're going to stay hot over the next 7 days, really, not until the beginning of next week that things really start to cool down. Expect some rain showers, some scattered thunderstorms, really a possibility. Saturday evening, going into Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have unstable air mass over the area. Monday or Tuesday, we get a little bit cooler, a little bit less humid. Temperature comes down to about 80 degrees, but there are still those scattered chances out there each day until the middle of next week. So once we hit that 90, then we're on a nice steady decline till we get to about Wednesday, 82 on Thursday.
Okay, now. All right, the Krista Green has joined us, so our lives are complete.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Krista.
Happy Juneteenth. Happy Friday.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about to play a game now, one of our favorite times of the show. So let's get to it. Today's game is called On This Day, all right? Bum, 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 bum. On this day. That's where we would have had transitional music, but no worries, I got us. All right, so basically it's true or false questions. You're gonna let us know whether or not these things happened on this day, okay? So let's go for our first one. Here we go. The first one is on the left. January 15, 1559, Elizabeth I crowned queen in Westminster Abbey.
No, false.
Anybody
We all
else?
have to answer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to let Amy take the lead on that one.
Oh, well, if you agree with Amy, just so okay, we got 2 falses.
Right.
And then what we got? Krista, no answer? All right.
Don't think it was January. False.
Okay, the answer is true.
Oh.
This true. You guys were talking about Elizabeth I, not the second.
They always say not to copy off of people, right?
Well, at least make sure it's the smart person that you're copying off of, Tiana.
Yeah.
I tried, okay? I tried.
Okay, August 25th, 1609, Galileo demonstrates Galileo's experiment dropping a ball and a feather off the Leaning Tower of Pisa, also known as pizza, just because we like pizza.
I'm saying
that's
true.
false.
I'm going to go with
Okay.
true.
I think true because my birthday is right around August 25th. It's the 29th, and I love the Leaning Tower of Pisa, so that makes it.
Hold on a second. We're just going to find things we relate to into the question.
Hey,
I
when you
mean-
don't know.
Okay,
It's a strategy.
there you
The
go. There you go.
answer
Well,
is-
I'm true with you.
The answer is false. He debuted the telescope on this day.
Yeah, the Leaning Tower of Pisa thing threw me. I'm like, I don't think that's right.
You know, you say anything Italian, and I'm like, true. Yes, sign me up.
Okay, here's our next question, guys. On May 5th, 1904, the first perfect game in modern baseball is pitched by C.Y. Young.
Cy Young.
Cy Young, sorry, Cy Young.
Is that true?
1904.
In modern baseball. Yeah, modern baseball started in the 1800s, so I could say it'd be true. And
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
true.
We only have one half of our history buffs here.
yeah,
We need Jonathan. Okay, the answer is true.
Yeah.
okay.
Found when you need it.
100% guess right. On July 14th, 1789, the French Revolution begins with the fall of the Bastille prison.
I feel like I should know this one.
I did a piece on Bastille Day. Is it July 14th? I don't think so. False.
False, 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 false.
Okay, so the answer's true, but nice try.
Ah!
I didn't know. I just kept my mouth shut. I was like, oh, no.
Confidence. It'd
Okay.
be
Lie?
This one, you might know, somebody might know this one. Okay, maybe. The planet Saturn was discovered on this day, February 18th, 1930.
1930.
True.
Yeah, you got to think back to what you were doing in 1930.
I'm going to say false.
False? I had to find it again. I lost
I'm,
it. False.
I'm scared to read the comments. We always get roasted during these games.
No. Okay, Pluto was discovered. It was a different planet, Pluto.
Oh, it's funny. I was just going to say, I'm like,
Oh.
discover planets that early in the 30s? But
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, apparently, but you know.
I
what
was
they-
right anyway.
You know what they said about Pluto.
Yeah, it's not really
Okay, September 21st, 2004, Green Day released their album American Idiot in the US. Krista, go.
horrible.
2004. I know. I'm like, where was I? Because I listened to that album on repeat.
Krista, we were like in 4th grade. So
I know, and
True.
I danced to this album in my living room. I don't think it was 2004. I think it was a little earlier. I'm going to say false.
I don't think that's the name of the album.
What is the name of the
American
Idiot.
Idiot.
Don't want
American
to be
Idiot.
an American idiot.
Oh, okay.
Just me?
True.
No
It
other
was like 2002.
What?
Okay, no other guesses. The answer's true.
It's
Ugh.
true. We were in 4th grade. Krista, 2004. Come on.
I know. I just thought I was younger. That memory feels like so long ago. All right.
Yeah. Amy's like, okay, move on.
Fun.
Let's get the next question up, guys.
I hate these questions.
I know. Rowan Martin's Laugh In last premieres on NBC, March 12th, 1973. On this day.
I thought it was 75.
75?
I'm going to say false.
Yeah, Amy. I think you're
Oh,
right.
yeah,
I think
definitely
it's
1975
false.
for sure.
For sure.
Now y'all are just saying stuff. The answer's true.
It is true? I thought it was later than that.
Yeah.
Amy.
We need that.
All right. I trusted you.
Okay, here's the other one. October 31st, 1541, famous painter and sculptor Michelangelo finishes sculpting the famous David sculpture. Krista,
On Halloween?
I know Krista knows this one.
I know, like, did I tour that? Yeah, when I was in Italy, but do I remember? No, I think I would remember if it were Halloween, so false.
Answer's false.
Is it false?
true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it was a complete guess, but you're right.
Halloween would stick out to me.
What'd you say?
If it were Halloween, I would remember that. That's something that, sticks out to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll leave
When
that.
are the easy? My dog is saying that these questions are too hard.
Okay, here's one that you know. Probably not. Beloved actor Robin Williams is born April 22nd, 1951. May he rest in peace.
I thought he was older than. Oh, no, that's.
I think it could be true.
No, I think it could be true.
I'll say false just to be different.
It's true, isn't it?
False.
It's false.
Yeah,
What year was he
No.
born?
it's false. Okay, and then here we go. Pink Floyd debuted their famous song, Another Brick in the Wall.
Again, music, I'm just stupid.
That seems like such a June 1st move, especially if it were a Friday in 1977, I'm going to go with true.
77? The year throws me off.
What you got, Deanna?
I just want to go back to the Robin Williams one. Y'all are sneaky because he was born in 1951, except he was born July 21st. How are we supposed to know the date?
Right?
Well,
We were right. Amy and I were right on the year.
that's the goal of this game. It's
Yeah,
called-
but I was right.
not
it being
in this
false,
year.
so-
It's called On This Day. So let's not refute the game, okay? Let's carry on. That answer for the last one, Krista, was false. You are correct, but not because you knew, but because you guessed.
Am I 3 for 3? I think so. Let's
Yeah,
keep going. I
you
love-
You did pretty good. I think if we put all of you guys' answers together, you
Right?
come out winning more than you are losing.
Hey, you guys, I'm going to share my screen because I want to show you something that the Twitter universe is going kind of nuts over, and I see why. So I want to get your thoughts. Hold on, make sure I have it pulled up and that you're not showing you anything you shouldn't see on my computer.
Okay. As you pull that up, I
Amy,
should
let's
also
be sure.
we should note that Robin Williams was born in Chicago, in case anybody missed that too.
Right. Okay.
Also, Amy, we want to make sure you call that the Twitterverse. You
Twitterverse.
just put the words together. Twitterverse. Yes.
The
there you go.
Twitterverse. Okay. So this is Kellyanne Conway debuting.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It is.
I don't believe you.
She was on, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before.
Did she have a tour?
It's interesting because the comments are very interesting and not mean, more of like people are stumped by it, you know?
I mean, she got left. She might have just been having she might have been real tired, had a bad day, not a good makeup artist.
The one on the left is how she always looks. Like she has looked that way for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So now the one on the right.
Always tired every single day. Now she got some new people in her circle.
Yeah, because
she got a lot of new people in that circle.
No, she got a lot of work done.
I don't know if she had that much done because she's not like her eyes aren't lifted. I mean, maybe some Botox, but I don't think like work done, right?
Oh my gosh, are we in the era where we can add filters to our live shots?
No,
because
done that a long time ago.
That sounds amazing.
If that's the case, you guys can have me live tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday, Monday.
It's just such a drastic change. And it could be, listen, the poor woman might have just gotten a vacation because she works a lot of hours and she's got 4 kids. So
she's a busy lady.
Tired. I'm telling you, she was just a little tired. She got some sleep.
That looks different though.
I don't know about that, but it's not like her face is out of proportion. And it was just interesting because so many people were commenting on like, whoa, what happened? Not more like criticize. It wasn't, I mean, there was some, but I will say it was more of a head scratcher than it was like, or anything like that. So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
But I love from like an actual, go ahead, Krista, what?
No. I love to hear that the comments aren't ripping her apart. That's great.
Yeah.
I never hear that on social media.
Some of them were, because some people just don't like Kellyanne Conway anyway, but I will say most people were just curious more than
anything. Now that photo was taken like her during a live, because it seems like she set up, in front of the camera or something, or was it like edited with?
No, I think she was doing a talk back, and that's
like
screen grab from the talk back.
Regardless, whoever or whatever was done, whoever did it, good job.
And there was also questions whether or not she is getting a role on Fox News, and someone is giving her a little makeover.
Whatever was done, if anything was done, and whoever did it, good job. Girlfriend looks good.
Yeah.
Improvement. She looks good.
Yeah, no, she looks good.
Great. All right, looks like we are done for the day, girls. Lady show.
Lady show.
Ladies rounded out
tomorrow at 11:30.
Monday.
Thank you. You can do it because I'm so confused. Go ahead, Felicia.
Are you still there? Okay,
she said, "Go ahead."
She's an OG member of 90s in Vogue, the 90s band. My mom absolutely loves them. I love them too. We've got Terry Ellis here to talk about her latest single, Angry Black Woman. Okay, she has to break it down and the true meaning behind it and what she's trying to get across to the community.
Cool.
And at 2 p.m., Kenneth Connell, Chicago Fire, he's the goalkeeper. Yes. We got to see what's going on.
Yeah, the Fire's coming back.
Yeah,
I know.
Ever since they switched stadiums, Toyota Park is right by my house too, and it's so weird driving by and just seeing it completely different. I mean, it has a new name. There's like a little store area in front of it. It's just weird. Yeah. I'm just like,
I got questions about his. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. Go ahead.
I got questions about his workouts, so I'm interested in that because I played soccer. Couldn't play goalie because you got to get from one side and you got to jump 10 feet and get that ball on the other side. So I want to hear about this workout and how I can get these knees going.
And I'm always worried about when they do jump to the side.
You got to jump for your life, girl.
And I'm always worried they're going to hit their heads on the post.
That's what I was concerned about.
See?
You sure you're going to do your side plank leg lifts today?
That's probably how he's.
We'll take this offline because I haven't been tagged in any of them, so I was not keeping up with them past the lunges or past the squats.
Everyone is it's an outreach. I want everyone to participate.
Alicia
wasn't surprised. She just got up and she did them.
Girl, you know how I am on social media.
Amy, all I hear
she struggles. Amy, if you want to tag every day, I will tag you every day.
Girl, if you don't smack me in the face with this stuff, you know I don't see it.
Done.
Say you did 1.5.
Yeah. Okay, we're about to wrap, but did you work out today already, Amy?
I did. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning.
Never mind. I was going to say go do some later today. Never
Nope.
mind.
I did Orange Theory this morning, 3:30.
Okay, never mind. Today's done. Bye, y'all. I'm leaving.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
3:30.